Welcome back to Collignation, your one-stop shop for all things Kaulig Racing, Dingernation, SVGNation, and all things NASCAR, including our brand new podcast, Ramen is Racing. Every other episode available on YouTube. The offsetting episodes available on our Patreon, where we have a bunch of bonus content, including our Kaulig and Trackhouse Nation podcast, which we are recording for tonight. We're actually recording both podcast episodes tonight. So head on over to patreon.com/Collignation to sign up for bonus content. The link is in the description below. And please take a moment to slash the thumbs up button on the video. We're not a big channel. We punch above our weight class. Every single time you click that thumbs up button, every single time you leave a comment, even if you have a longer comment, you decide to split it up into 2 or 3 comments, the engagement helps push our videos against a very unfair YouTube algorithm. So we really appreciate the support from each and all you guys, whether you're SVG fans, Kaulig fans, Connors Illich fans, or NASCAR fans in general. When you guys do that, when you comment, when you engage, it helps us out a ton. So we ask you to continue doing that. Our multiple choice question for this video is, do you think Stephen Dorff, the crew chief for Shane Van Gisbergen, has been given too much rope or too much runway given the 4 road course wins they've snagged this year, which for me, I attribute that to Shane Van Gisbergen, not really the crew chief. Obviously, there was some things that went back and forth on the weekend that were said, and things that were supposed to be done that weren't at Darlington. The question ultimately becomes, can SVG continue to develop on ovals with Steven as his crew chief? He has 4 wins, so he's probably not going anywhere, regardless of them being on road courses. And it sounds like him and SVG are kind of close. But I personally think that he's had too much rope. So your options are yes, no, or it doesn't really matter. Comment down below and share your thoughts there. We'll have more on SVG later this video on why specifically he was pissed off. All right. The Kaulig truck lineup is set, ladies and gentlemen. To some extent, I think 4 of the 5 trucks are set, with the 5th truck being what's going to be a rotating truck of drivers, some from this game show they're planning, and others just people that come over and, run a couple races for them. Chris Rice had this to say: the driver lineup for the Truck Series is all but done. We've had it in place for a bit now, and it's looking great. We have to build 20 plus trucks and be ready for February. We're just waiting to announce it, hopefully soon, and same goes for the crew. And we know Rodney Childers' name's been bandied about. We know they want to hire a competition director. For me, if you can get Rodney Childers in there as the Ram competition director, you can flirt with the idea of him moving up to Dodge when it comes time, maybe get a protege under him that would take over for him. I just think the Rodney Childers hire makes too much sense. And he could still be a crew chief for one of the trucks if he wanted to do so. We're going to talk on the upcoming episode of Ramen is Racing, episode 3, which will be exclusively available on our Patreon and will be out tomorrow, on who is going to run those trucks, who we believe the most likely candidates are. And Ryan and I are going to give 2 lineup predictions each. So again, tune into Ramen is Racing over on our Patreon, available tomorrow. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Chris Rice also said that they are hoping to announce more drivers for the 11 soon. They already have it filled out. All but 1 race is taken care of. We do believe Derek Kraus is going to get one of those races. I think he was rumored to do, which I'm not overly excited about that, but it is what it is. So we're going to hear some driver announcements one way or another for Kaulig very soon. There was some key partner talk. Chris Rice said in his interview, we'll discuss an AJ success at Darlington, about him possibly being overshadowed as well. When you are not a key partner, it's such a big deal to be the top team at an OEM. It's hard to do that on Sundays when you aren't a key partner. AJ gets overshadowed. This is about the 3rd interview in a row the key partner things come up with either Chris Rice and or Ty Norris. I really do think the people that are under the opinion that Kaulig is not dodge bound is crazy. It's inevitable at this point. It's just a question if they'll be ready for 2027 or 2028. Also, big shout out to our channel sponsors, Lynn over at SVGNation, Alex over at Dingernation. We appreciate all that you do. Again, for bonus content, please sign up for our Patreon, patreon.com/Collignation. The link is in the description below. And thank you to our current patrons who allow us to come out here and make the content that we do. So, SVG was not very happy this weekend at Darlington, and he had some rather choice words for what was going on. We put out our multiple choice question earlier about the crew chief. Let's get into some of what SVG had to say about this weekend. He was getting really frustrated with the car, and they told him that the car was going to get better when night fell. The handling would come too, and they'd be in a good spot. And unfortunately, that never happened because as the race progressed, the handling on his car only got worse. And, people have gotten on SVG a little bit for communication and not being able to communicate what exactly he needs on ovals. But I would also say when your crew chief comes over your radio and says, don't worry about it, the car is going to get better when the sun goes down and we're racing at night, and it has the exact opposite effect, it doesn't do a whole lot to inspire confidence. And I'm not trying to make this the gang up on Steven Dorff video, but we know Minto in the comment section's been all over wanting change. And I know John O'Brien, who is a supporter of the channel, has been starting to echo those sentiments, as well as some of you other fine folks out there. And, at the end of the day, you tell your driver one thing and the other thing happens, it doesn't inspire confidence. SVG went on to say that, he also said in response to the car was going to get better at night, it bleeping better. I'm reserving swearing here because I don't want the channel to get demonetized for the video. SVG went on to say the caution came out at the wrong time, but we just had nothing anyway. Whatever was different from yesterday, the car was horrible, and he didn't like the car on Saturday either. They tried everything they could, but we couldn't make it better, and I couldn't find a way to make speed. SVG was so frustrated during the race, he asked to be coached through it. I was losing my crap inside the car, and I'm being PG with that one. It's a shame. I had reasonable hopes. We ran good here in the spring. Our cars are getting better, but I just felt helpless out there. I think that probably expresses the same feeling all SVG fans were having as this was going down on Saturday night. Don't forget to like the video, comment, share it around too. That really helps. We always encourage sharing the videos. Consider signing up for our bonus content on Patreon. Let us know what you thought about SVG's comments below, and if you think Steven Dorff has had too much rope and a change might be needed there. And we will see each and every one of you in the next video.